All right, it's a great rainy day, so it's not going to be very good for trying to do anything with paint and paint prep. It's just been kind of wet, so I don't want to deal with that. But what we're going to do is I'm going to start this machine up and we're going to let it warm up. This hasn't been started in a week or two. We'll see how that goes. But we're going to do the seafoam, and we're going to go ahead and see if we can't get this thing to stop the skip here. I'm going to go ahead and start up. You'll hear what I'm talking about. I know I've done plenty of videos of this running before. Boy, this is what happens when you leave paint cans out. So let's go ahead and start her up. See if my battery's good, even though you see the charger on it. I haven't been charging it. Well, I heard it click. That's a good sign. Do the glow plugs. And we'll see if we're going to have our usual kind of hard starting. Hit our glow plugs a few times. I guess the battery's okay. This will be a lot nicer when I get dual. I'm going to put dual 31s in it. It'll be real nice when I do that. Oh, that wasn't so bad. I think she's going to start up, actually. You walk around, and I think I may have had the fuel pretty far down from the last time I ran it. Oh yeah, it would help if I gave her a little fuel. It's a lot easier when you're in it. All right, here we go. Away from the noise. You can see she's running pretty smoky right now until she gets warm. And I definitely have one cylinder that is intermittent, so we're gonna try and clean that up with some seafoam. So I'm gonna go ahead and let her get the temperature right now, and once she's up the temperature, I'm gonna drain out the fuel filters, and we'll put the seafoam in, and we'll start her back up again, see how it does. All right, so I'll start this up again later. All right, she's been running for a good half hour now, so she's good and warm. And I'll go ahead and yeah, you can tell she sounds like she's running good, right? But you see a little tiny puff there. I don't know if you can tell, but let's run up the RPM. You'll see what I'm talking about. Definitely have an intermittent cylinder, and we're gonna see if certainly no harm in running the seafoam. So let's see what's gonna happen. Shut her down. Oil pressure was good the whole time. All right, so I'm gonna go get a bucket, and we're gonna drain these out, pop the top, refill them with seafoam, and start her back up and see if she clears up. Actually, I'm noticing something right now on my injection pump. I did kind of clean up the seals a little bit on this. I'm seeing a little bit of wet on my injection pump. I'm wondering, where is that coming from? Looks like it's this line here, which is the front, but that's not the injector that seemed to be giving me trouble. So bottom line, it's a little teeny bit wet. I'm gonna have to check into that. Still gonna do the seafoam. All right, let me go get a bucket. All right, I've shut the main fuel off underneath. Let's take out the first plug here. Now these are brand new filters on here, so I'm not too concerned about changing the filters. Got my nice bucket down there, right in there. Yeah, I should have brought a rag. No, I have one. Good. Yeah, I did just change. I actually just changed the filters on this. And of course it's a 5/8. Hold on. Okay, let's try that again. Loosen this up to get some air in it. And yes, I could do it. I know I could do it with this. The vent. But those are in terrible condition and I don't want to mess with them. Since I want to take the lid off anyhow. Why not? There we go, almost off. Got the spring in there. There we go. Carefully take that off. There's a lot of fuel in there. Try not to make a mess. I think I just about got it. Okay, so I'm going to repeat the same process on the other one, then we're going to fill these up. Kind of hard to do this one-handed. Alright, filters have been filled up with seafoam. Put the lids back on. Not exactly exciting video. You can see why I wanted to do this before I decided to paint, because I did manage to get a little bit on there that would be lousy with new paint or anything I'm trying to do, so we decided to do this first. That's fuel valves back open. Engine's still warm. So give her a little fuel, start her up. We'll see what happens. It's not going to make it any worse for sure, so give her about half fuel. Let's see if she'll light up when she's warm without glow plugs. She might. run it up a little. Sounds a little bit better. Still got a white smoke cylinder though. I'm going to let her run for a little while, then we'll come back and check on her. We may have to do this a couple times, see what happens. It's a little better, it's a little smoother, but I still have a miss. Alright, she's been running for a while. You're supposed to run it hard after you do this seafoam and get it good and hot, but I just have not had much of a chance to do that, obviously. So the best I can do is just run it. Certainly blowing good and warm. I guess the big test is if I run it up, I do see what happens. Well, I don't know. I'm still missing a cylinder at high speed. Thought that was gonna help. Maybe I'll try it one more time. I put my finger on each of these. I keep forgetting my probe. See if I can't figure out which one of these cylinders is doing that. But short of if I I guess I could take the valve cover off and see, make sure there's not a valve sticking or anything. I don't think so. Doesn't seem like that. I don't hear any sounds like that to me. But I just think I have a sticky injector somewhere. I guess I can always try that treatment again. Like I said, I have no idea how old this is or how many hours are really on it. But really don't want to have to go buying an injector. So we'll keep plugging away at it. See if we can't figure something out. I'm sure we'll eventually get there. All right, it's kind of wet today, so I don't have a whole lot of ability to play with paint. Finally remembered my heat gun, or my temperature probe rather, infrared, and started up the machine and let it warm up a little bit. Let some of the smoke clear. Let it get a little bit of the temperature. See if I can't scan each of the injectors and figure out which ones maybe getting to be intermittent. So I'll start that again in a minute. All right, it's mostly cleared up. It's mostly cleared up. Still see an occasional puff. We're going to start taking some temperatures here, see what we learn. Getting a little bit warmer, that's 150. It might be this one. I keep getting a very intermittent reading on it. That's weird. I'm getting a very strange reading off of this injector. That's our problem child. I don't know what really to make of those readings I was getting. Depending where I was shooting at the injector here, I was getting all kinds of different temperatures. I don't really know what to make of that. 162. 3150. 180. 179. Know what to make of that. As I go around the injector, they get different kinds of things. What I do know, now that I'm watching this particular injector really closely, there's a teensy bit of wet around it. I wonder if there's a tiny, tiny air leak in this one. Within 10 to 20 degrees of each other. I don't know how good this is, but like I said, I just noticed now that I look at it, I think this injector has a tiny leak in it, which would kind of make sense for what we're seeing. But if that's letting a little bit of air or just losing a little bit of compression at high speed, I wonder if that's what's going on. It's not the one I thought it was. I thought it was one of the two towards the radiator, but it certainly seems to be that one. And now that I'm really looking at it close, like I said, I see a little bit of wet there. I think maybe that's what's going on. So maybe there's an injector O-ring that has a problem there. Yeah, I'm definitely. I don't know if I can zoom the camera in far enough. I'm seeing something now. Yeah, I'm seeing air bubbles. That's our problem child. And it looks to me like somebody tried to seal that injector with something instead of putting in a proper O-ring. I bet that has a bad copper or a bad O-ring in it. Looks like somebody messed with it once before. Alright, so that turned out to be a good exercise. It wasn't what I thought, but at least the heat gun sort of helped point me at maybe where I needed to be. Alright, so I'll shut her down and figure out what I'm going to do.